Hello, everybody. Some some people had messaged me in the last 1 week asking me how I created the Bible bot, where I'm sending the daily Bible quotes, and they wanted to know how it has been set up and all that stuff. So I thought like I'll just do a quick video demo of the back end of the entire bot. So you can use the same format, and you can do a joke a day, weather forecast for the day, horoscope for the day, like anything. So basically it's something like an infinity sequence bot, technically speaking. So this was very common during the like last couple of years when Facebook didn't have any of the other restrictions like the 24-hour restrictions. But now, considering the new restrictions that has come in during March of this year, where we cannot send a message post 24 hours unless it comes under the three messaging tags. So we'll have to add a couple of new conditions to check whether they have interacted in the last 24 hours. But once you've done that check, you can just add it as a infinity loop. So let's start the demo here. So this is like a welcome message, like when people land on the bot the first time, they just see this, and it just gives basic information like if you like the Bible quote for the day, don't forget to press amen and so on. And so this is the first interaction the user has: send me please. So once the user clicks on this button, we are actually setting a custom field called serial number. So because this is the first time the user is entering the flow, we are hard coding the value uh, to set value as 1, because this is the first time they're entering the flow. And after that, there will be like every time they go through the flow, it will be like incremented by 1. But now this is the first time, so we are hard coding the value. And then we are sending them to a next flow. Like, so what I've done is, for the first day I will like again hard coded the first verse, and then after this, like let's assume the user comes back the second day. From then on, it will pull data from the Google Sheet, right? So now let's go to the first day verse. So here I'm doing a generic check. This is technically not required, but then I do that. I'm just because this is the first verse, so technically the serial number should be 1, right? But then in case the user comes from somewhere else, so for whatever reasons, it connections get crossed, technical issue and all, and it's a serial number is greater than 1, which means this is not the first time they're entering the flow. So we don't want the wordings will be different when the first time they're entering versus it's a repeat user coming back, right? So I've just put a condition here saying if the serial number is greater than 1, then it goes to a different word text. If it's not, then the first time user will get this. Here is today's Bible verse for the day. Or let's say it's like the second or third day, then they get this text. So this condition is just to split, give them different text, that's it. But after that, you can see it again goes to the Google Sheet. So now, prior to starting all these things, you need to prepare the Google Sheet beforehand. So I have actually taken the King James International Version, and it is available on a CSV file. I put it as a Google Doc. Of course, don't ask me too much about the Bible thing, because I don't practice Christianity. So technically speaking, I'm just doing this for the bot part. So let's not get into that debate. Uh, so I have the serial number. This is a custom field I've set up. Citation. This is another custom field I set up, and then this text. So these are the three custom fields I have actually created already. Right now, let's go back to the Google Sheet. So this action is going to be get value, right? Get row. So what it's going to do is it is going to go to this Google Sheet called King James, this one, and then the worksheet is obviously sheet one there, sheet one, and then it will look up using serial number. So serial number equals serial number. That's going to be the lookup column, and I'm just going to map the data. So Google thing, obviously, like I said, these are the custom fields I already created. So I'm just mapping it citation to citation and text to verse text. I'm just saving this, right? Now once this is done, so the message is actually thrown now. So this is a dynamic text here. So I'm just using variables, verse text, and what's the citation. And you can see I've added a button here. So this is important. I mean, it can be Amen or it can be any button, but then ideally we want the user to interact with the bot once again, because like I said, the more whenever they click on the button, it reopens the 24-hour window, which is very important with today's messenger policies, right? So, and I just put it as Amen because I'm under the assumption like somebody who reads the Bible text verse is more inclined to click on Amen. So you can add any relevant text that you want, and once that's done, I'm actually doing incrementing the serial number by one, because now the first text is done, so it will actually go to the second text, right? And I'm also adding it to a sequence. So now this is, there are two types of ways we can do the following steps, but then let's just go with the sequence way first. Now, if the user clicks on Amen, we have some special effects coming up like flying balloons, flying hearts, like just to show some this thing. And then after that, after some time, we give them the one-time notification request. Like, will you like to be notified about the bubble code tomorrow? Then we have the notify me. If they click on it, we give them the confirmation saying thank you for choosing. You will have a blessed day, right? So this is the front end of the bot, like the first day. Now let's say the user has subscribed to it, so obviously we need to send them the next message, right? Let's quickly go to, you can see that I mentioned there is a sequence here, subscribe to sequence. So this is a daily sequence. There are two ways, like I said, there are two ways you can do that. One is you can actually do it through a sequence flow, or the other option is you can do it without a sequence flow. The advantage here is without a sequences, you'll be just using smart delays, like 23 hours smart delay. The advantage of that is in case there's any problem with sequences, your bot will break, like it happened to me yesterday, where there was some issue in the back end, and the SB team was working on it, but then my daily sequence didn't fire for 3 days. So after escalations, the team looked into it. They fixed the issue, and the sequence start firing. But that's when one of our community members, Mark, he suggested that I do it without a sequence, right? So let's look at both the options. So let's first look at how with the sequence. So as you can see here, once the user finishes this thing without even clicking the Amen button, it all this both the actions will be done automatically. So the user is subscribed to this particular sequence, and this is the sequence that gets fired. So this is the step that is required to ensure your bot follows the 24-hour policy. So we are actually checking. The first step is a condition where it checks whether the interaction happened in the last 24 hours. If yes, then it goes, or else right now I just stop. But then obviously you can do multiple things. You can actually put up a what do you call email flow there, or you can also, like I shown here, you can have a one-time notification, a message, and then you can connect them back into the bot and so on. But then I don't want to waste my one-time notification tokens in this, because if the user interacts with the flow, they will obviously get subscribed to the sequence again. So I don't want to do that there. So now once they enter the sequence, it will be like they unsubscribe from the sequence, you wait for a smart delay of 5 seconds, and then again they subscribe to the sequence, and then there is this condition again. This is again just a check to ensure the different message goes, whether the serial number is greater than 1 or not. So obviously here the serial number will be bigger than 1, right? Because we are in the second day of the flow. So here, yeah, so it says welcome back, Deepak. So in case if it's not greater than 1, it will just say here is today's Bible code. This is like a fallback option, right? So here is today's Bible code, and the Google Sheet comes up, and it's the same thing. So it's a get row action. You get this thing. It's based on serial number, citation, and verse text. Same thing, right? So this everything is the same here. So it will just follow the same thing. It will show the aim part, and then again balloons, a notification, and you're closed. So this is when you use a sequence method, right? Now let's look at another method where you are not using a sequence. We'll just use smart delays. So this one. So ideally, what will happen is when when you're using smart delays, so instead of using subscribe to sequence, it will not be subscribe to sequence, it will just be start, it will be a smart delay, and after smart delay it will go to this flow. So here there is the same logic again, whether the user, so this is the starting step, whether the user interacted in 24 hours, and then the same flow happens. Your text, welcome text, Google Sheet action, and then the Bible quote, the balloons and flying hearts, OTN request, and but then one small difference here is after the notification thing, we'll have one more smart delay setup here. This step, which will actually go back, if you see, it will be a smart delay, right? So okay, I actually have kept it 1 hour because this is going to be a daily bot, right? So let's keep it 23 hours, right? So after 23 hours it will actually go, it will restart the flow again. So technically speaking, this will become the starting step. So if the user hasn't interacted in the last 24 hours, because the condition will fail and the user will drop off again, like we saw in the other thread, you can actually just leave it at this, or you can just add a email flow here, or you can add a, you can do a send email action, or you can do a send SMS. But then you should have collected the information from the user beforehand. So right now I'm not getting into that, because kind of I don't want to collect the user information in the beginning stages itself. So idea is to do it later on, right? So this is, yeah. Mm, so this pretty much covers all the points. Feel free to ask me any questions. Feel free to post it in the comment section there in Facebook group. And like I said, this is like this, using this case study as a Bible bot is just one use case. So you can use it as a daily joke of the day. You can use for weather forecast, horoscope of the day kind of stuff. You can do multiple things here using this thing. So it's all up to you. At the end of the day, you just need to have one data source, like either through a CSV file or through a free API connection. There are a lot of API connections available. In fact, even for this Bible thing, I think there are some APIs available. But I felt rather than using APIs, using Google Sheet Action is more reliable, because you never know when using a third-party API what might break. And this being a very simple flow, I didn't want to take that risk. So yeah, feel free to ask me any questions you might have, guys.